In this lesson, I'm going to show you how to use the deposits feature in QuickBooks Online. Now, in order to do a deposit, we're going to click on New and then choose Bank Deposit. But before we can do that, we actually have to have received some customer payments to have anything show up here in this deposit screen. So as you can see, because I'm using the sample file, there are two sample customer payments that are already showing here. But just to make sure you get the full perspective, I'm actually going to demonstrate the full process. So first, let's go to Sales and let's go to Invoices. And let's pretend that we have just received a payment from Shara Barnett from Barnett Design, paying her $274.50 balance. So to receive that customer payment, we're going to click on Receive Payment. And we always want to make sure that we have chosen undeposited funds or payments to deposit. QuickBooks did change the name, so it's a little weird. Now, if the account doesn't exist for you, let's say you don't have undeposited funds or payments to deposit, you can click on Add New, and I'm going to do undeposited funds, and it's an other current asset, and it's undeposited funds. So again, it's not going to actually let me create this because the account does exist, but I did want to show you where you would go if for some reason neither account was showing for you. All right, so we're going to pretend that this person paid by check, and I'm just going to make it check number 1000, and they paid exactly the $274.50 that's owed on their invoice, and they're paying it today, 12/11/2024. So then I can hit Save and Close. Now, I also received a payment from Cookies by Kathy. We're going to click Receive Payment. Same day, Kathy paid by check, so there's no reference number. I'm posting this to undeposited funds. She brought in her full $75, and so I'm going to hit Save and Close. Now, what happens? I'm a small business owner. I've got a check and I've got cash. So I'm going to put those together on a deposit slip, and I'm going to take them to my bank. So when you go to the bank with that deposit is going to total $349.50. We have a $274.50 check, and then we have $75 cash. When I take those to my bank on a single deposit slip, there's going to be one transaction that comes through the bank feeds when that clears. That transaction is going to be for $349.50. That's why we have to use the bank deposit feature in QuickBooks Online. If you did not, if you had instead posted Shara's payment directly to the bank account, and if you'd posted Cookies by Kathy directly to the bank account, QuickBooks would be expecting a deposit for $274.50 and a separate deposit for $75. So this is one of the big mistakes that I see a lot of business owners make. If they don't use this feature, but they batch their deposits, they duplicate the transactions, because when the $349.50 comes through the bank feeds, your client or you as the business owner will see that and go, oh, I know what that is. You know, that's revenue, and they'll code it straight to revenue from the bank feeds, which is what we don't want to do. So once you've correctly chosen your payments and you've got your deposit slip and this matches the exact amount that's going to hit the bank account, then you can go down here and hit Save and Close. Now, what happens if your client or you as a small business owner, you mess up and you accidentally posted those payments straight to the checking account? So let me just grab both of these really quick. And let's say instead we sent it to checking. Oh, you know what? Let me grab my deposit here. Hold on. I'm going to delete this really quick because we did not do that. So instead we accidentally posted this to our checking account. Oh gosh. Okay, so if you accidentally post a payment to the wrong account, you may have already figured it out just from watching what I just did there. When that deposit comes through and you need to match it, you can actually just go find the payment that you incorrectly posted and just change it. So change it from checking to undeposited funds, hit save and close, and now it will show up there for you to create the deposit. That's how easy it is to fix this mistake. You just have to know for every deposit that clears the bank account, you need to know which transactions or which customer payments totaled up to that deposit. So let's see if we have any. We don't have any good examples here to use in the sample file. But again, if you did, one of the easy ways to find it is if you have payments here that have been received and they don't match to anything, so you can't find a payment or anything that they match to. You know, this is 868.15 on 11/14. I can go here to my new bank deposit feature and I can look to see if any of these transactions add up to that if we were to lump them together. So sometimes you have to do a little snooping, a little investigating to try to figure out. I can see two payments on 11/14, 387 and 1675.52, but I don't see anything here that those match up with, but that's the kind of investigating I would do if I knew that I had payments showing here under new bank deposit that should have cleared the bank account already and haven't been matched. So if you do have, like for example, these two payments are from 11/14, they should have cleared the bank account already, and they're sitting here, you're going to ask your client, say, hey, are these checks sitting on your desk? Were these payments actually received? Or did you deposit these already? And if so, I need the deposit details so I can correctly match these payments to the deposits and make sure it cleared the bank account.